Right, on to round 2. Part of me hopes it'll get easier for us than round 1. The other doesn't really care if I win or lose, so long as it's fun to watch. So, looks like 3 flyings, 2 grass, and a rock. Certainly better variety than we generally see out on the road. Definitely hard to make decisions sometimes when there's no convenient we got 'em beat decisions in our lineup.
What kind of battle can we expect to see?
One that still somehow feels more dignified than the polka dot background implies. I suppose someone was trying to be clever using polka dots in a Pokemon game.
They strike fighting poses. Vigorous attack. And the weak spot.
Wow! Kind of surprised that wasn't a one-hit knockout.
What will the trainer do now? A decent hit. Fireworks are flying in this battle.
And with this, Nim takes the lead on the scoreboard. Sure, the lead is just by half a point, but still, 14 and a half victories is still a good, solid number.
Pokemon is being pressed. Oh, it's Ivysaur.
Ivysaur?
This is a
Oh, you'd better be sorry for giving your Ivysaur such a crappy name there. At the very least, I hope you're planning on changing the name when he evolves.
major damage. What's next? Severe hit.
Okay, doesn't look like Nim's gonna get another win in this round. Definitely feels like a pattern when we get to Stadium, that even though I don't use items in the mainline game, we still feel like we get worn down a lot faster in here. Maybe I'm just way too used to how long we can spend just grinding out levels.
It's a hit.
We certainly spent quite a bit of time in Red just grinding, and we're gonna be doing some more grinding once we're done here in Stadium.
Now. Oh, it's Ivysaur.
Yeah, kind of expecting the next Pokemon after their Ivysaur to be the Geodude.
Backing down. How's that? Good hit. Wow! Going down. There's only one Pokemon left in reserve. Oh,
My
it's
mistake.
Electra.
Still, we're both at full health, and it's not like Phyllis is gonna be weak to grass moves.
The 10th battle continues. What now? A decent hit.
But he is apparently gonna try to stall this fight out. I kind of have the feeling that's just what grass types do.
Fireworks are flying in this battle. The attack is still continuing.
Well, of course it's continuing in the very next turn from when he bloody started it. It would be more than a little ridiculous if it ended instantly, but I suppose that's what Constrict is for.
What's this? That's a good hit. What'll it do? And
About the same as last time, even if it's a critical hit somehow. Seriously, we're fighting the stem of a flower that isn't even blooming. He looks barely large enough to be able to wrap himself around our leg, much less do anything critical outside from possibly going for the genitals or something. Of course, most animals don't have their genitals on the outside unless they're getting ready to...
strike fighting poses.
Ugh. Why am I even talking about that right now? It's honestly a good thing that YouTube, for bullshit reasons, decided to remove my ability to monetize this channel so many years ago. I'm pretty sure I haven't been able to keep things
Still going on.
purely PG in this commentary at the very least, and I have only myself to blame. Have I at least been able to keep it PG-13 for this playthrough? I can't fully tell from this angle.
What now? Yeah, it's a hit.
And we're once again wrapped in an embrace that frankly shouldn't do all that much damage. I know why it works this way due to gameplay reasons, and can even accept the fact that animating things this way actually makes an otherwise ridiculous move work in this context, but... eh.
That's a good hit. Fireworks are flying in this battle.
Really wish he had a different line for when the battle is slow and methodical instead of a flashy mess.
What's this? There, it's a hit. What'll it do? Good.
Oh, please, don't tell me that Phyllis is gonna get taken down just by being wrapped repeatedly.
Rages on. The attack still going on. A decent hit. Both Pokemon are exhausted. How's that?
Good work, Phyllis. You've just tied with the top score on the board. And since I'm exasperated by my own inability to keep things PG in this commentary, I may as well mention that the Pokemon that was absolutely obsessed with wrapping us is our team's 69th win. Take that however you want. So, that's 2 rounds won, but they were harder fought than I was hoping, and I'm pretty sure that we aren't gonna make it to the finals here. Though it looks like this next one is gonna be easier than the last 2, since he's got mostly water types. Who knows? Toimaru might actually get on the board here.
The upcoming battles look promising. We're into round 3.
Well, we should certainly be faster than a Slowpoke, so no worries about getting hit by the psychic attack first.
They strike fighting poses. Here's the first move. Whoa! Looks like a bad Pokemon choice. Vigorous attack. No! This Pokemon...
Okay, I'm definitely liking that exchange rate. Sure, it's a bit annoying that we're both trading super effective moves, but we're apparently just a bit more effective than he is.
What now? Perfect game!
Welcome to the top of the scoreboard, Phyllis. Considering he's our absolute first Pokemon, I'm surprised it took so long for him to get to the top, when he literally had our absolute first win of the game.
How will the type difference affect that?
Hopefully the same way it affected the previous Mon. Actually kinda disappointed in myself that I didn't have a third team with a Squirtle as the center point. Guess that's something to save for if and when I ever get to the generation that has X and Y.
What's that?
I haven't heard great things about that generation, but at least it's still got a better reputation than Sword and Shield.
Vine Whip is good. Super effective.
Apparently, Vine Whip isn't good enough to be a 2-shot win against a Pokemon at the same exact level.
There, it's a hit. What a furious battle. Heavy tackle.
Very much doubt that Phyllis is gonna sweep this entire team, but I certainly wouldn't mind it.
There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon.
I never would have been able to guess based on the previous 2 Pokemon that fainted.
The remaining Pokemon count is 3-1. The battle has become one-sided.
It was already one-sided because we have a grass and electric type. There are some types we are not at all prepared to deal with. Water is not among them. So I'm looking forward to seeing Misty's bikini-clad ass get handed to her on a silver platter. Not that I know how many more clips it's gonna take for us to get there.
What now? The speed is down. How's that? That's the weak spot.
Holy shit, Phyllis just swept that entire team. Sorry, Toimaru, but there goes one of your best chances to get on the board at all.
Bumblebee. The
fact that it was a critical tackle against a Pokemon with only 1 HP left is just adding injury to injury. Does Poliwhirl have a rib cage? Because that should have broken a few bones there. Well, we certainly don't have as much of an answer for Fire type. At best, we have Marbleback here. That Ground type is certainly going to throw us off as well, and apparently his strongest is a Psychic. When we have 2 poisons. Not thrown in the towel already, just can't help finding it a bit disconcerting that this is what we're running into as soon as we're done with a mostly Water type trainer.
Here's the first move. A savage hit.
Oh, we are so getting our asses handed to us here.
What will the trainer do now?
Oh, this trainer is just gonna groan at the fact that there's nothing we can do other than just try to power our way through Drowler here. And even if we manage to take that Drowsy down, that's not gonna change the fact that our single best option against Fire types is now done for the match with a single win to add to his tally.
The next Pokemon is being prepped. They strike fighting poses. Oh,
Nim, I hope your fangs are ready to take down 2 or more, because otherwise I may as well throw in the towel here.
Combatants face each other. What's next? Major damage!
Well, at least we're faster, I suppose that's something. And I very much appreciate that we get a free hit on the bastard.
Heavy tackle! That's a good hit! Oh! It's down!
And miraculously, Nim's in perfect shape to handle whoever comes up next. Come on, buddy. You can match Phyllis's score, or at the very least beat this Ninetales, and weaken the 3rd well enough for Kohaku to claim the win. Yeah, Nim ain't taking this one.
There, it's a hit.
Bloody hell. Kohaku's not going to be able to handle a 2-on-1, especially if the first isn't even in yellow condition.
What now? Hit the weak spot.
Okay. Very respectable showing there, Nim, but unfortunately respectable isn't going to be enough to take us to the next round. Maybe if I started off with Nim and then went to Marbleback. Ah well, this burglar still earned this win, so I'm not going to be all that tempted to use a continue. We're just going to take it to the chin and keep on moving on.
It's 1 Pokemon against 2 now. The 10th battle continues. What's next? A decent
I'm
hit.
pretty sure that another Ember would have done more damage. Then it's not like I've memorized the stats for our Pokemon, or that I know the stats for the ones we're facing off against, so maybe it was a smart move there?
Combatants face each other. What'll it do?
Oh, it'll just leave us way too worn down to deal with the final member of the enemy team.
Horn attack! That's a good hit! Wow! Going down!
I'd probably feel more sad about seeing such an elegant fox fall down like that if it wasn't for the fact that that fox ensured our defeat here. At this point, I'm just gonna go down swinging for the sake of giving Kohaku the benefit of the doubt in case he somehow gets very lucky here.
What now?
Again, we're screwed.
What's next? Good hit!
Still not sure why he's using a normal type move instead of something that goes with his element. Or maybe he just doesn't have any good ground type moves just yet. The only 2 I can think of off the top of my head are Earthquake and Dig, one of which we'll gain just after we deal with Misty's gym, and the other is very late game. at least according to the board at the end of the match, we made it a close one there. Didn't quite make it to the second half of the tournament, but that's still a reasonable showing considering we don't have as varied a team as I'm planning on having in the future. Now that that's done, back to the main game and our regularly scheduled grinding. In fact, I'm pretty sure the rest of this clip is just gonna be grinding. Hope we'll be able to stop grinding for now by the next clip, but I wouldn't put money on that bet. Right, back to trying to get Takanobori ready to actually start fighting back. And it's gonna be a rather annoying but ultimately rewarding road to get there. At the very least, I certainly would have appreciated a water type in the 4th round of that tournament. Though having one level 20 Pokemon and just a bunch of level 15 others would have left us limited in our options. Especially if someone threw a lightning type against us. Again, I think Magikarp learns Tackle at level 15, though I might be misremembering. Not that learning Tackle is gonna make him all that suited to fighting trainer Pokemon. Sure, Tackle is a solid enough move, but I don't think a flopping fish has enough going for him to make that attack hit as hard as, say, when Marbleback or Kohaku do the same move. Though it'll most certainly be a move that sees some use once Takanobori graduates to Gyarados. Again, there are plenty of Japanese role-player games that do a better job of letting the players see how much progress they've made in leveling up, and how much more they have to do before they reach the next level. It's something they fixed pretty quick, all things considered, but still, it's rather glaring here in the first generation. Especially with how much grinding you need to do in order to try to have a reasonable leveled team of 6. Always found it funny that when moves like Peck or Tackle aren't very effective, they don't do damage to the user. Again, like Rap, I know why it works that way for gameplay purposes, but still, it kind of reminds me of a random winter, where my boot got stuck in the snow, I tried to pull my foot out, and the boot stayed down while my foot went flying out. I didn't fall down since my other foot was stuck as well, but I did end up kicking a light post. The kick was not very effective against the light post. And thankfully, I could just drop said foot into the snow, or I'd have gone home with a limp that day. I know, completely unrelated to what's going on right now. But come on, it's more grinding, so I need to talk about random stuff on occasion to help pass the time. It's not like I can constantly say jokes involving throwing marble back at birds or something. Again, I'm just letting my mind wander to try to keep things from getting old faster. Of course, when fighting so many Spearows, I could also give a story my dad used to mention that involved a bird. He claimed at one point that a storm had taken off the covering for the chimney of our old house, and he didn't think anything of it until a big bird managed to find its way down the chimney and gave my older sister, who was still a baby at the time, a rather, shall we say, hungry look. In his words, it was a big bird, possibly a condor, considering we lived in Massachusetts, and condors are native to California, I very much doubt that what came down was an actual bloody condor. But to be fair to him, he was scared shitless for his baby girl, grabbed the crib and ran to the nearest room with a door and slammed it shut. When he finally mustered the courage to come back out, the bird had already found its way back out of the house. He promptly nailed the chimney shut for a while, then called some people to get a new covering for the top of the chimney. Now, long after he tries to make it sound like the event actually means that his daughter was blessed by an epic bird or something, trying to play it up like some Providence moment or something. Considering none of his 3 sons ever got a story about some random animal blessing them as well, either A, none of us ever got any supposed blessings at all, which makes me feel kind of cheated, or B, what blessed us wasn't something as majestic as what he thought was a bloody condor. It's not like anyone would ever brag about their kid being blessed by a skunk or something. Of course, considering my dad isn't part of any kind of culture that thinks animals can bless a child by showing up and giving them a significant glance, it was probably just a funny side bit to something that both felt terrifying and weird when it actually happened. Anyway, not too much time left in this clip, just need to come up with another random topic or two, and we'll be through another stretch of grinding. Well, at the very least, I should probably stop sending Marble back out for the rest of the clip. He may be my designated wall for the game, but still. Okay. Apparently my thinking when I was actually going through the grinding was a bit less tactical than now that I'm looking at the footage again. Just how late at night did it have to be for me to think hearing that beeping noise was a good idea? Hold on, let me check the raw footage. Huh. 6 p.m. I was expecting something a bit past midnight to help excuse that bit of stupidity on my part. Not that it really matters all that much, especially since this is the only generation where the mainline games don't change the lighting and what Pokemon show up based on the clock. I think I've said it before, and I'll say it again, though. I just do not like that particular mechanic in the Pokemon games. It feels like you kind of have to schedule part of your day around the game. Possibly why I dropped out of the series by the 3rd generation. It just plain felt like something they were sticking with, and I didn't like it. As much as I like the Pokemon world, I tend to prefer games to help me escape from the world I actually live in for a while. And every time I look at a bloody clock, I always think about all the other things I'd like to get done that particular day, or the necessary bits of crap I'm gonna have to do later on. Seriously, I've known the occasional Pokemon session where I go, going to have to do this bit a little after 6, assuming I can get away from that annoying amount of paperwork that needs filling out. Oh wait, I promised so-and-so that I'm going to have an early dinner with them. Then there's this book I've been meaning to read, and good God, why is it I can't just seem to let myself play any Pokemon generation outside of the first one at random odd moments between other things I do from day to day? That's one thing that nobody ever really talks about when they mention time management. Sometimes you run into things where you just plain don't have them as priorities, but you'd still like to do them, but you've only got so much time to do all these things. All anyone ever talks about is just prioritizing things, of this is important, this is not important, that sort of thing. Anyway, we're close enough to the end of this clip that I should start winding things down. Hope this was a fun one, and we'll see how much progress we make next time, since Takenobori actually has an offensive move now.